Hello, everyone. It's always a pleasure to sit down and talk with you. Although you see a constant, you just see this negative, positive all the time biting at each other's heels, don't you? And so it just seems like this is a week, where different things come up. Like this gentleman, which we won't mention any names, made a statement of how alcohol destroys the herbs and everything else. And it's like, there's some of these people out there with these kind of wacko thinking things that just doesn't, I don't know. But I do want you to know is that we have moved our alcohol. I've always wanted grape alcohol, and so we finally got grape alcohol. And it's a much better alcohol, and it's really good. The problem with using any other minstrel, and I've talked about this before when you make herbal formulas, is glycerin. Now, our glycerin infused is a whole different process, but the typical distillation by glycerin or vinegar only yields 60 to 65% of the herb. And if you're spending money for a formula, you want that formula to be the most powerful formula that you can buy for that money. And you want the best you can. I believe in the best and the best and the best. I believe in best practitioners, the best products, as best as we can. When we're aware of something and we learn it, we get rid of it, and we try to seek out better. Hard sometimes when you're ordering from companies' products, not my herbal line, but a pharmacy here, where you have all these different products, until you get them in and read what's actually in them, do you really know? Part of the problem there. I'm coming to you to talk today more about the stomach and bowel formulas, because we've had a lady and a couple people concerned about Cascara sagrada. And they were told by their medical doctors that with colonoscopies that their bowels are dark and everything. As a matter of fact, before I came to you here, I wanted to show you something. And if I can find it here real quick, I will. But this has to do with Dr. Jensen's colonoscopy done by Dr. Jensen. And I've got so much material here to show you. Through the years I've collected, and just from all kinds of things out there. The United States, Dr. Spock and the United States Surgeon General at one time said milk is bad for the kids. So guess who fired the C. Everett Koop? Do you remember C. Everett Koop, those that are from the States? C. Everett Koop was the United States Surgeon General a few years ago, well, a lot of years ago now, and he made that statement about milk, and they fired him. And so that's kind of sad there. But I wanted to show you this, and it's just not coming up. I don't know where it is. I have all these things all over the place. But I wanted to show you Dr. Jensen's colonoscopy and endoscopy before and after. And I tell you, I thought I laid it here where I can just grab it when I need it. So forgive me for just 1 minute. Let me just take a quick look up here, because I thought I laid this to where I could get them when I need them, but that's not the case. So I have to apologize. Wait a minute, maybe this is it. No. I can't find it. But I find it, I'll show you how the man that wrote the book on colon health, my late friend Dr. Bernard Jensen, had black colonoscopy, endoscopy. He had black all in the colon. And even in the small bowel it was looking dirty. The man that wrote the book, the man that shows you all these pictures of this mucoid plaque. Here it is. Well, actually, this is his this journey into a long, extensive carrot juice fast. And I thought maybe I would have his colonoscopy in here. And if I can find it, yeah, here it is. So, and I'll show you some pictures of some of this plaque that comes out of people. From the bowels. And Dr. Jensen wrote extensively about mucoid plaque and all the black stuff that comes out from years of consumption of white flour products and proteins. And we term mucoid plaque in that these are mucus-forming foods. And these foods, literally, these chemical byproducts get locked on the bowel wall, particularly proteins. And last year was the largest study ever done on colon cancer, linked it entirely to the consumption of meats or high protein diets, have always been linked to colon cancers. So a lot of medical doctors think that herbs stain the GI tract. So I had a lady in the other day who's was telling me this story, that her first colonoscopy came out black and the medical doctors told her she was abusing herbs and laxatives. She said, well, I have news for you. I don't take herbs and I don't do laxatives. And so you see this all the time. I don't know where medical doctors got this, but herbs do not stain your colon. Herbs, laxatives, I'm not into. However, Cascara sagrada, I'm probably the most aggressive herbalist on this planet. I've used more herbs than probably most herbalists combined. I feel if anybody has an expert opinion on the use of herbs of almost all the varieties we do here in our clinic, 43 years of the use of massive amount of herbs to get people well, and our reputation has proven time and time again, and those people that have used it have proved time and time again how well they do. I have 5 bowel formulas, and none of them are laxatives, all the way up to number 5. Number 5 is right there at a laxative. And a laxative, to show you the difference, is that as you begin to restore the adrenal glands, which then restores more neurotransmitters, restoring myelin sheaths. Therefore, peristalsis picks up. Also, by hydrating interstitially, you'll break up that lymph in the bowel wall that makes it less pliable, and you start getting better peristalsis. So hydration, more neurotransmitters, everything starts picking up better peristalsis. Then you have those that as soon as they eat, they got to run, go, poop. And the reason they got to do that, again, we're going to go to the liver and gallbladder. Generally, you'll always find inflammation involved there, or even pancreatic problems. And so they have to eat, they've got to run, go to the bathroom. That in itself is a problem. But going back to black stained bowels, and going back to laxatives, I don't recommend laxatives because they are stimulants. And whenever you use a stimulant, you have the flip side, because remember, life is dualistic. That's why Buddha said the middle path. Jesus talked about that. One side or the other. One side's positive, one side's negative. They're actually the flip side of the same coin. We learn our best in the most negative of times. Yet it's nice to have peaceful time. You have both things going on in this world, and you can't get away from positive, negative, yin and yang duality. That's why creation can exist, because of duality, creating the movement of electricity or electrons, however you want to look at, around protons. That whole idea of atoms and the structures of atoms and magnetics and chemistry and all of that. That's all because of duality. So, when you're putting together a formula, and you want a restorative formula, which that's what I like to call mine, is restorative. Now, take a look at Richard Schultz's. I think his is number 1. This is powders number 2, I think. Number 1. That is Dr. Christopher's formula. These are laxatives. I've only used Dr. Schultz's formulas in extreme cases, and I had one extreme case, which was a Fox News, guy, whatever they, the TV guys, the analysts or whatever you call them. One of his wife had extreme Crohn's to where she couldn't poop at all. I had her on 20 of my number 5s 3 times a day, plus about 4 of Schultz's, to get her to have a bowel movement. But I worked her out of that, fixing her adrenals, fixing her bowels, got her off the laxatives, and then mine are easy because after you start restoring good function and health of the colon, you find, oh, number 5's too much, I got to go to number 3. Oh, that's too much, I got to go down to number 1. I have 5 formulas. Number 1 has nothing in it to move you. That's for people that move too much. And we can even go and grab Blessed Herbs formula, which is just mainly powders, and it'll actually stop you even more. Impaction is something we don't try to go for. We want to open up impaction. So, Cascara Sagrada. I've used more Cascara Sagrada than probably anybody, and I love Cascara Sagrada. There was one note that this medical doctor told this lady she could die. He needs to lose his license for that. I mean, when you start blaming God for everything and herbs for everything, then you're going to invoke us, and we're going to come after you. Or we're going to stand up. We're no longer going to be drove over by medical doctors who have no brains left, or who want to form an opinion that has no experience. I don't do that. I don't give you opinion if I don't have any experience. I will tell you I don't have any experience with that. I don't know. That's being honest and forthright. But when you make an opinion about Cascara Sagrada, telling a person she's going to die because she's on a bowel restorative, oh my God, this guy has no business being in the health field whatsoever. These are the worst kind of practitioners out there. They're horrible. And they're the ones that hurt people. Our bowel restoratives are just that. Most of the formula is not Cascara Sagrada. Cascara Sagrada starts in my number 2 with only about 3 or 4%. And then I work up to about, I don't know what my number 5 has in it. I did add some aloe in number 5, which tends to be a little drying and the like, but I didn't add the aloe that's laxative. But you have to realize that it's imperative to restore your GI tract. And medical doctors can't restore nothing, honey. So you got to get with that. And anybody out there that comes to us complaining that their medical doctors told them that herbs hurt them and stuff, you guys, whoever you are that they told that to, it's up to you to defend that, or up to you to get smart about that. Because this is classic medical doctor crap. They've always talked negative about my field, about herbs, and don't know anything about them. And they can't cure anybody, and we cure just about everybody. It's so bad out there. It's sickening. And then you get the FDA involved. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground either. These are bought and paid for people. So you just see this idiocy here. We're from God, everybody. We're supposed to enjoy the planet and have fun. You've got these bizarre intellectual medical doctors that don't have a clue about anything, giving bizarre opinions, using toxic fatal event chemicals, killing people right and left, and you want to take their word for something? It says a man's got to wake up to this, because it's getting a little bizarre where anything a medical doctor say, yes sir, and many people are under the ground because they said yes sir, yes ma'am. They did not question. I don't mind you guys questioning me out the you-know-what. I don't care. I'll be willing to answer any question that I know and have had experience with. And when I don't, be happy to tell you don't know. And the worst thing you can do is give an opinion when you don't know. That sets up wrong information. Somebody's going to listen to it. I wonder what karma's involved when you do that. And then the feelers go out, and all these people are affected negatively about something you said. Whether you have to pay for each and every one of those things. In Buddhism, you do. That's scary. You know. So, never be afraid of little. Cascara Sagrada is actually the most gentlest and the least addicting of all of these things. You can be on any of my formulas and find yourself coming down when you start restoring good adrenal function, good peristalsis. You got to come off of number 3 to number 2. So this is the way it goes. I put everybody on number 1 because it has all the herbs to clean and restore. All this medical doctor needed to do was get him an herb book and go read about the herbs in them, to understand the beauty of those herbs. And once you start reading of the beauty of herbs and their effect on the body, forget pharmacology, forget these toxic, deadly chemicals, because we have beautiful herbs that embrace and heal the people that use them and the animals that use them. Hell, half the animals would be dead right now if herbs were toxic. Man has got to quit living in fear, and medical doctors have to either own up or you guys are going to run yourself in some big, bad karma trouble. You already are. And it's time you stop this sort of insanity and wake up. Now, there's a lot of good, I've got a lot of friends that are great medical doctors, so this is not geared to you guys at all. You guys are doing well. A lot of medical doctors use our herbal formulas. I've got a lot of osteopaths that have been using our bowel formulas for years. But you get these harebrained wacko medical doctors once in a while that says crap like this that scares these poor people. Well, it's up to the people now. As the head of the AMA said, that buyer beware. It's up to all the humans on this planet to get strong with what you know. And get strong with truth. Don't live in fear, particularly of things God makes. That's insane. And man has just become a little mouse compared to what he is in structure and in beauty of the soul and of the hugeness of a Homo sapien at this level only. What's out there beyond this level is so fantastic, is so unbelievable, is so gorgeous. It is so love. It's hard to tell. But each level in creation has its bad, bad, bad stuff. There's some stuff going on in creation, as it is on this planet, that's very, very bad. I mean, real bad. But then you have the very, very, very good. It's duality here. So enjoy those bowel formulas because those are the nicest one on the market. Almost everybody making laxatives. I don't recommend laxatives at all because they're addicting and then you have to take more. And they don't serve any purpose to restore and strengthen. They stimulate. And we are not about stimulation. We're about health and vitality and the vitalness of a cell. We want every cell in your body to be strong and vital. Absolutely, because one cell is 2 cells is 100 trillion cells. So it's important to make the system vital by making it healthy. And cleaning out a sewer system is good. What do we got? Pharmaceuticals to clean out sewer systems, do we? I mean, it's insane. Herbs do not stain the colon. This is from your diet. And a lot of people have black bowels. Now, let me show you something. This is Dr. Jensen. I remember he wrote a book, and this is before and after his herbal program with us. And you will see here, and if I can show you this. Hey, sweetheart. Let's see if I can get Drew in here to help me. Marcy, Andrew, I don't even have a Clinic 1. I don't know if I can get him in here. Hey, Chris? Chris? Oh, I just wanted someone, a Drew or someone to help just for a couple seconds in here if I could. Thanks, son. I want to show you what a bad diet does and then what herbs really do in terms of cleaning this black bowel out. And Dr. Jensen, the famous Dr. Jensen, is one to really look at. This is both an endoscopy and colonoscopy, by the way. and hopefully we'll get...
Is there something I can help with?
I just need someone to focus in. No, I think Drew or Chris, because I'm going to show pictures and I want to focus in on these pictures just for a quick second. Yeah, someday in class, you guys have seen my little photograph album here of tumors and everything else. And it gets pretty nasty when you start seeing what we're all about and involved in. And I love all you guys on Facebook and coming into the YouTube, because, you know, we're right in the mix of people's suffering. We're right in the mix of people's angers and anxieties. We're right in the mix of people's relationship problems, because people are seeking wellness and happiness and wholeness. And yet you have these wacko medical people still out there whacking up everything, lying to people, saying things they don't have any experience for. People are believing that. And I find it is time the people of the planet Earth become strong, become awake. Because some people out there are acting like little scared children that run and hide when someone says something instead of standing up for what they know and believe is true. So the worst thing you can do is go to someone, particularly a medical doctor, and ask him an opinion about herbs or natural healing. If someone does that, then you maybe deserve what you get. Because you don't go to a plumber and ask an electrical question, nor would you go to a medical and ask him an herb question. You would call it an herb college. Now, Drew, what I wanted to show them here is this is Dr. Jensen's endoscopy and colonoscopy, before and after the herbal program. So we're going to look at this. You'll get a picture here of where we're looking at as Drew combs these pictures. The top is before, and this is an endoscopy. The bottom is after. Now, let's go deeper. This is a colonoscopy. Take a look at this one. Who wrote the book on colon health? Top is before. See all the black stuff? And look at the bottom. After herbs, including stomach and bowel formulas, GI brooms. Now, yeah, one more here. I want you to look at this one. This is real bad. And again, I think this was back in 2000 that this was going on here. His first one was in the 90s, I think, and then this other one was in the... Look at how black Jensen's bowels was and how they cleaned up beautifully on the herbs and diet. And his books are literally loaded. Let's see if I have any more. Yeah, I have one more. This is another colonoscopy. Take a look at this one. His books are loaded with pictures of this mucoid plaque that he cleaned out of other people. It also shows us a lot of us practitioners don't work on ourselves like we should, I guess. That's pretty nasty, isn't it, Drew? And that's what that is. So when you go to a medical doctor and he talks about black plaque, yeah, a lot of people have black plaque. It's called mucoid plaque. And it comes out when you start detoxifying, and guess what pulls it out? The stomach and bowel formulas pulls that out. So, I mean, that's the beauty of that sort of thing. So I just wanted to take a few minutes. Sorry to only have a short video here, but this is just, I mean, it's just one of those days where people come in here. And I wanted to talk to you about these formulas, too, because... Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it. Sorry to bother you, man. You would take stomach and bowel number 1 if you were having daily bowel movements and everything was good, you know, or you had too much bowel movements and you wanted to slow them down. Number 2 is when you're sluggish. Very gentle, beautiful formula. Just a pinch of Cascara Sagrada. And so when you don't, let's say you're sluggish and you're hard to have a good one all day, or you'd have part of one, that sort of thing. Number 2 is perfect for that. Number 3 is when you miss a day or 2. You miss a day or 2 a week, you need number 3. Number 4 is when you miss 3 or 4 days. And number 4, number 5, when you start getting up there where you're not moving but once or twice a week. It's that important. So enjoy these herbal formulas. And for those people that freak out when a medical doctor says something, grow up. Because you're going to have to get strong for what's coming. And the problem is humans have been very weak. And now you see all the beautiful spiritual souls on YouTube and Facebook. You guys are the ones to bring the light and the love and the awareness of truth to this planet. And it needs it bad. Because you constantly have this repetitive crap out there, and no one knows what's up. It's like, what's his name? I won't mention his name. Saying that the alcohol destroys the chemistry in the herbs, blah, 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 blah. Does he not know at all about herbal formulas? But he doesn't use them. He pushes a lot of bananas and things. Now we know. So that's the problem. If you do not have experience in a field, don't give your opinion. If you've had some bad experiences, maybe you did something wrong. But I can tell you, I've used these herbs for so long. They are the sweethearts of nature. They're the ones that come in and do what foods can't do. They come in with their individuality. They come in with their love. They come in here to help the body get well. There's toxic herbs out there. Compare them to toxic pharmaceuticals. Hell, half the pharmaceuticals are tied with fatal events to them. What? Herbs don't come with fatal events to them unless you do the wrong ones at the wrong time or something, or overdo a real toxic one, which is rare. I mean, so rare you'd never hear about it. Yet daily, thousands of people die from pharmaceuticals. Daily. Worldwide, thousands of people die daily from pharmaceuticals, and that's acceptable, but herbs aren't. And a little cascara grata makes it. What are you talking about? This is the problem we face, guys. And that's why all of us unite as one, become strong and hard to buck, because we have to change a solidified consciousness that's constipated, that needs a little bit of help to get moving. So I love you guys. I'm shooting this out to you because, I'll be honest with you, it kind of just, I hear this every once in a while from a medical doctor, and after a while, you just like, enough ignorance is enough ignorance. You know, this is the 21st century on this planet. It's not time for ignorance because it's imploding. It's bad out there. And we are here to bring God to this planet in a higher awareness of that factor. And it's through health, no matter what you call it. When you feel good, you're in love. When you feel good, you're in love. When you don't feel good, you start blaming and throwing things out like this. But when you're in love, you are embracing nature, you're embracing God, we're embracing each other. And therefore, this is what we must perpetrate, is love and hugging each other. Are you suffering? Let us help you. Let's turn this world around from the ignorance and the pain and the killing machine that allopathy has become to the love machine of nature and God. And that's why I see all of you guys so important to this. All you new people to this site. You are so important to yourself to get well and to become more aware of, and your happinesses and your joys, as well as helping others. Because right now it's reaped with stupidity, constipation, unhappiness, depression. That's what this planet is. And we must help each other lift ourselves up out of this and have some fun and have some joy in our lives and start feeling that God essence you are and the happiness that brings. So with all this, I love you all, and I will always be here for you in one form or another. And all I have to say is be strong and plow forward. Help anyone that will listen. Those that don't listen, okay, next. because they will come around. Every soul must come around to this level of thinking, this level of helping themselves, or they're just not going to get to Wellville. And you guys know the secrets. And I want to thank you all for helping and working with all the spiritual beings that are working with this now. There's so much going on at this level, it's hard to even tell you. Just be aware of what's around you and the spiritual beings that's working with you. Know that there's all kinds of good beings helping you at all levels. And be aware of that. Watch and listen, because some of them might whisper some love in your ear